Rahul, there are a lot of assumptions in your question. A, that there will be a cabinet meeting at Jal Board. B, that he will be...
all of this is not an assumption. All of this is on very good authority from very senior leaders in your party. None of this is an assumption.
I don't believe it till the time I don't see it. So I won't comment on it till the time it doesn't happen.
And then you will be here on our channel to talk about it. But let's just focus on the possibility, in the hypothetical eventuality of this happens. Then what do you feel about it?
You know, let's move to a more serious question which you've raised, Rahul, which is, you know, is it going to be all... the word is that are we going to play to the galleries or are we going to do something substantial?
Yes.
And the proof of the pudding is going to be in its eating. So you will see very soon that these are not populist measures. These are scientifically researched. They are backed by data. And you will very soon see, yes, I agree with all the panelists that, you know, the people are expecting the moon. The people expectations are at all-time high, but in a democracy, I celebrate that. You know, all our lives, and you know, I'm a part of that. For more than 40 years, we've been told, don't dream, don't ask for your rights. You as citizens are only once in 5-year citizens. One day, come out and vote, and then forget about it. We won't fulfill our promises. Manifestos are supposed to be thrown in the waste paper basket.
That's a very generic and a very vague answer, Rahul. The point is, if there are assembly sessions taking place in the assembly, if cabinets take place in full public view, how can tough decisions get taken? Instead of just lacing your answer with rhetoric and idealism, answer the substantive question. How do you take a decision amongst, say, 5,000 people, all of whom will want to preserve only what suits them?
Rahul, again I'm saying I won't like to prejudge the situation. You're assuming all these things. Let it happen. All that we have said today is that we are going to have a swearing in at Ramlila Maidan, and that is where it ends.
So, okay, I want to now come to the next part of the debate, and this is what Siddharth has been itching to get into, and I put that question to Siddharth first. Siddharth, do you think the Aam Aadmi Party has damaged its credibility by tying up with the Congress? Because the Aam Aadmi Party says after this referendum, the people told them, 75% of the people told them that they want Kejriwal to be CM, they want the Aam Aadmi Party to form the government, therefore they are doing what the people wanted them to see that.
Well, Rahul, I hope this is the second part of your...
Yes, it is. Go on. This is your chance.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. Well, a party which gets less than 30% of vote is giving a statistical figure that 75% of Delhi wants them to form a government. I don't know which side to believe. But anyway, they have been given a chance. I'm also saying it's a welcome. They should perform. But as a matter, these theatricals or tamasha is what is being reflected as a participation of the public in running of government. I don't think that's going to be
now
possible.
You're not answering the question you were asked. You answered that question when I didn't ask it. Now I'm asking you whether it impacts the Aam Aadmi Party's credibility. You're not answering. Why do you believe that tying up with the Congress impacts their credibility, Siddharth?
Which side I have got out of the bed or which side you have got. But let me say, I was just coming on that.
Yes.
When you see all this tamashas and Rahul, who is Rahul Mehra, contradicting straight on your channel, that no, let's see what happens, and he is not assuring on that whether it is going to happen on Jantar Mantar or Ramlila. And lastly, when you have changed your stance for not taking a support, and you go back to the party which you have blamed and said they are the most corrupt, and you take their support and bring them back from a back channel, I don't think the public of Delhi are going to say your credibility has gone high.
You know, Rahul Mehra, the reality about the Aam Aadmi Party is you've done convenient political somersaults whenever it suited you. Arvind Kejriwal shouted from the rooftops, I will never join politics, come what may. I will never ally with the Congress or the BJP, regardless of what happens. People now know that not all of what you say is true. They will view you with suspicion. They know that very conveniently, like the Congress and the BJP before you, you too will take a position which suits you, which is reeking of rank political opportunism, Rahul.
So Rahul, let me give you, and I hope you allow me to put my point across. Give me 1.5 minutes, please, because a lot
answer the question. Go straight into it. Dive into it.
I am. Rahul, if you see the past, what happened? There were challenges which were thrown. Yes, our stated position was we are a civil society. We don't want to be political. But the political parties threatened and they challenged. that if you really want to pass a law, why don't you form a political party? We took the challenge head on and we changed our stated position. I don't think you can blame us for that. You blame the political parties who challenged. I'm sure they're repenting now. Number two, there's another challenge which came up. We went to the electorate saying we are not going to ally with both the corrupt parties with whom we are fighting, and we shall not do so. And that was our stated position. We said we shall not take support, neither shall we give support. That is very well documented. But see the rhetoric and see the change in circumstances. BJP, which had 32 seats, which is the single largest party, which doesn't even...
No, you're citing past history. Rahul, you're citing history. We know all of that. I am asking you the specific question of whether this impacts the Aam Aadmi Party's credibility, and I'll put that question to Shiv Vishwanathan. You can't, this is not a court of law. You don't have 3 minutes to set up a preamble. Answer the specific question, Rahul.
Stated public positions.
Give me a one and a half minute. You gave Siddharth so much time.
Answer the question.
30 seconds.
My God.
Please allow me. Please allow me. So, here's BJP on the one side saying, no, we are not, being the single largest party, we will not form the government and we'll shirk away from our responsibility. And then they challenge us that you have the numbers because you are being thrusted upon with the support which you never sought. Nevertheless, you have the support, form the government. Now when we form the government, they say you are the party of Congress.
Mr. Mehra, be practical now at least. You are forming a government.
On the one side, they say you are the party which is responsible for, having a re-election when we form a minority government in which we are not seeking support. I'm sorry, it's a minority government. Congress will have nothing to do with our cabinet, with our ministers, with the way we think. We are going to go on the manifesto. Manifesto is very clear. I don't think how it will dent us or our party.
Okay, you're saying it won't dent you. Shiv Vishwanathan, let me put that question to you. Taking support from the Congress, does it mar the Aam Aadmi Party's credibility? They're now, for all practical purposes, like the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in Jharkhand, an alliance partner of the Congress. The Jharkhand Mukti Morcha has a similar sort of model operating in Jharkhand. Does this mar Kejriwal's political credibility, Mr. Vishwanathan?
No, the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha was a model. The Aam Aadmi Party is a model. And if it sticks to the idea of the model, it will work. I don't think Congress can pull the rug so easily. If the Aam Aadmi Party moves from performance to delivery, and even delivers 30% of what it has promised, it is there to stay. I defy the Congress to pull the rug. Sheila Dikshit cannot pull the rug because the rug has been snatched away from a long time ago. The question is not rhetoric. The danger is piety. If Arvind Kejriwal lays off piety and goes to pragmatic politics, where he becomes a problem solver, he can alter history. The danger is not using the past as an example. He is a part of the future. He is a part of a different kind of dream. He plays out the dream. He's won.
But he hasn't shown any evidence so far of being pragmatic, of being a problem solver. He's taken hard positions which he's refused to budge from Abraham Lincoln. All effective administrators have cut deals. They've made promises. They've done all that dealing and dealing. Even Abraham Lincoln has. Kejriwal so far insists he doesn't want to cut those corners. He doesn't want to make those deals.
Wait, let me first tell you, Kejriwal is far from being an Abraham Lincoln. I think he needed to take hard-cut stands in the first part of his play. He needed to sound normative. He needed to sound idealistic. As he makes the transition, he will actually do politics in prose. He will show you the difficulties of putting something through. He will play the transparent problem solver. If he does that, and if he delivers even 30%, he is home. You know, this idea that he has to deliver 100% is a lot of nonsense. I think Kejriwal himself knows that if he delivers even a large fraction of what he has promised, they'll give him a second term to actually put in his other promises.
Will he be a transparent problem solver? Or will he be a hardline idealist who will refuse to budge from tough positions and therefore not prove to be a pragmatic problem solver?
Okay, I just want to come to the business you were asking earlier about whether he's betrayed his support base by forming the government. The election left us with a fractured mandate. We had two choices. One was the Aam Aadmi Party form the government. The BJP could not form the government, not because they're wonderful chaps, but because nobody would support them. The only party that could have formed the government was the Aam Aadmi Party. It had two choices. One was to say no, we won't form it, or we will form it, we will go along with our own agenda. If the Congress wants to support us, good for the Congress. We are not going to do a common minimum program with the Congress. They have done that. The BJP is saying they've sold out. What is the BJP solution? That the Congress would not support the Aam Aadmi Party, or the Aam Aadmi Party would not take the support of the corrupt, evil Congress, and we would have president's rule, in which case Delhi would be run by the evil, corrupt Congress at the center. So this is an idiotic argument to say that by going to bed with the Congress, he has betrayed his support base. In fact, he's offered his support base an alternative to central rule from Delhi. So he's actually saved it from Congress.
You know, Arvind Kejriwal told us, Mr. Iyer, that the Congress thinks they're trying to trap us. We are the ones who will trap the Congress. There are those in your party who think you've made a big mistake by supporting Kejriwal. You thought he'll roll over and trip. What if he shows that this is the way India should be governed, this is the way Delhi should be governed? That could create a big problem for your party, sir.
I am entirely in favor of being entrapped by Mr. Kejriwal so that he can convert this dream that he has had into a reality. But forgive me, listening on this program to my good friend Rahul Mehra, my skepticism quotient has increased. You have asked specific questions, we are not getting specific answers. I don't mind, this is a half-hour program. We are going to see over the next several months whether, irrespective of his fulfilling promises one by one, he is generally able to give us better governance and different form of governance. I would welcome that. But I'm not willing, like Shiv Vishwanathan, to just lay my trust absolutely down on the ground as if it was a red carpet. Shiv himself has reduced, after arguing the 100% case, says that if he fulfills 30% of his program, well, then it will come down to 20 and 15 and 10 if you just want the Aam Aadmi Party and you hate the Congress and you hate the BJP. Well, we are going to see whether politics, which has been defined as the art of the possible, is going to be converted by Kejriwal into the art of the impossible.
Well, the cynicism of the political establishment has been challenged and brought down by a flame of idealism. Now, whether that idealism can translate into good governance or will it lead to anarchy, we will find out. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for this very insightful debate. All of you have been in top form tonight. Thank you all very much for joining us on Center Stage tonight. We're slipping into a break. News and updates continue when we come back on the other side.